Hi, I'm Randi Sloane with Real Life, and I am here at the Long Island International Film Expo, and I am standing with Colin Hickey, who is the director and filmmaker of his documentary, Game of Many Names, and I'm going to have Colin explain it to you.
All right, and so the Game of Many Names is about the history of lacrosse with a focus on tradition, community, and culture. Basically, how the sport started with the Native Americans and transferred its way through the United States and the world to the point where it's, well, at the time of the documentary, it was working on becoming an Olympic sport. Now, in the past month or so, it actually was officially recognized by the IOC, and in perhaps 2024, it'll be back in the Olympics.
That would be amazing.
It'd be amazing.
Really. Now I have to ask, of course, you were a lacrosse
I most
player
certainly
yourself.
was. I was.
Of course. And where did you play?
Down here on Long Island in Garden City and Chaminade.
Garden City. You could never beat Garden City.
No. We were a baseball family at first, then we moved to Garden City, and they said, no, here's a lacrosse stick.
You know, I grew up in the boroughs in
Okay.
Queens, and we never knew about lacrosse. It just was more of a Long Island sport. What do you think about that as far as it staying only in certain communities and not getting out into the boroughs? Why do you think that is?
I think the exposure to it, because the communities that people are brought up in, that's what they know until they decide to branch out, kind of like we did. Our cousins played lacrosse out in Longwood and Suffolk, and they gave us sticks as kids, and we're just like, we're not going to play this until we left a town, which was baseball heavy, and moved to another one.
Right.
And now it's expanded beyond that, because I know most people that have gone to college, they've taken their sport with them to other countries, other parts, whether it's a job that they got, like Dan Flannery did, which grew it into New York. And people just need to open up to the exposure of the sport, and that translates to dang near everything in life. Just be willing and open to give it a try and hear about it. And
Is
see
that
it.
one of the reasons why you wanted to make the documentary?
Partly, yes. So the main reason was that when I was playing, I was taught that it was a game to prepare for war for the natives. And then that's not true at all. It's everything except war. It's prosperity, trade, family, community, showing off the skills that you were given by the Creator or God or Yahweh, whichever way you want to use for it.
Right.
So it was all about trying to set the record straight and right for the native people and the sport in general.
I think it's a great sport. I mean, my daughter's played it for a few years, and it can get a little physical, too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, there's a war aspect
I mean,
to it.
it's not rugby, but it can get physical.
So it's called the Game of Many Names because every tribe has their own name
Okay.
for lacrosse, and some of it translates into little brother of war. So when you're speaking native tongue to ye old English coming to the
Yeah.
continent for the first time, you're going to get something wrong. So that's how I think that was part of it. But now I'm starting to realize, but it is, yes, that's why we wear helmets,
Helmets,
gloves, all that
yeah.
sort of stuff.
Mouth guard and all
mouth
that,
guards,
yeah.
everything.
So do you think, like, what do you have for the future? Any things on the horizon as far as what you're planning to do next? Or
I would like this short to become a feature along with this IOC development, and I was unable to get the woman aspect of the sport into the short because it
Okay.
would have gone over the time limit for my, the criteria I had to get my master's from Hofstra with
Okay.
this was my thesis film. And the women's sport has grown just as much. There's now teams on every continent except Antarctica.
Oh,
so
wow.
it is blown up and
Yeah.
expanded beyond because of all those people taking the sport with them. What's very helpful is most countries and people have never seen the sport before. So when they do, they're like, this is amazing because it is a mixture of, football, soccer, basketball, hockey, just everything
Yeah.
that you need for it, because it also will show individual skills, but also how those skills complement one another as a team, and it's just fun
Yeah.
to watch and
definitely,
to play.
definitely is an exciting sport. Definitely. Well, where can people find you or information about your film?
Information about my film. I'm after this whole circuit is done, then I'm going to put it up on my website, toorotvillage.com, because that's my company, Toorot, TOOROTVILLAGE.com, and that will be where I start doing as much as I can in the film world, podcasts, clothing, everything. So
Awesome.
entrepreneurship is the way to go, I
Of course
think.
it is. I want to wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very, very much.
Yes, and congratulations.
All right, then. Enjoy.